Hello, I'm going to show you how I made a sandpaper pad holder that holds a dozen different kinds of sandpaper pads and keeps them sorted with a digital counter. This video is part of our French cleat series where we make French cleat holders for all kinds of stuff. There may be something you like there on our playlist. Go check it out. I use sanding pads for my orbital and mouse sanders, and I buy these as I need them for any particular project. So I never know exactly which sanding pads I have. And if you're anything like me, neither do you.
Nobody knows!
So when I built my sandpaper holder, I knew I was going to have to label each one of these slots because I don't know what sanding paper I've got in each slot in any given day.
You don't know!
But I also knew I didn't want to come over here and write on it or whatever because I'm lazy. And then I chanced across these. These are Decade Counters and they're sold dirt cheap on Adafruit, link below. This device is called a Decade Counter because if you push the buttons, it'll cycle through 10 numbers. This makes it perfect for designating the grit of your sandpaper. As I said before, you can break it into pieces so we can have 3, which is what we need for our grit readout. And they have on the back circuit boards that you can plug wires into if you want to hook it to an electronic circuit. I'm not going to be doing that.
What I will be doing is building a box for slots for our Decade Counters and sandpaper discs. To make the box, cut 2 6 1/4 inch and 2 14-inch lengths of 5-inch width wood. You can cut the shelf slots with just a regular saw blade if you don't have a dado blade, like me. First, you'll need to cut a strip of wood the same height as your Decade Counter. Use this wood strip to mark the height of the Decade Counter. Use your saw to cut a slot below the line you just drew. My slots are 1/4 inch deep, but you can use whatever works for you. Then adjust your rip fence to cut just below the slot you just made. This will give you a 1/4 inch slot. You can do it with a little practice. Use your strip again to mark the next Decade Counter slot and repeat the process. Before you know it, you'll have 2 fully slotted boards, and you didn't have to have any expensive tools to do it. Once you have your slots completed, you can glue everything together into a 4-sided box.
The next day,
Cut 11 4 3/4 inch by whatever length your slots are shelves that will be your sandpaper slots. If you cut your shelf length right, they'll slide right into the slots with no glue required. And after the shelves are in place, you can cut a backer board that fits into the recess left by your shortened shelves and glue it in place.
Now we'll take the Decade Counters and break them down into 3s so we can use them for our sandpaper. And we'll build some mounts to hold them in the slots so they won't move around or fall apart.
moments later.
Now they're just glued in place to make happy little sockets for our Decade Counters.
The Decade Counter slots are ready. It's time to put these in. But first,
I'll cut off the extra tabs they use to attach to each other so they'll fit into their sockets.
all we need to hold the modules in place is some hot glue. This is the hand sander.
And a little bit of Velcro in the bottom of the box will give our hand sander a home.
The last step is the French cleat.
French fries, French dressing, French bread.
French cleat.
All you have to do is glue the French cleat mount of your choice to the back of your box and then hang your digital sandpaper holder on the wall.
Let's load it up with some sandpaper. That's it for the sandpaper holder that holds all the sandpaper I need and uses digital counters to tell me what's in it. Are the Decade counters overkill for this application? Yes. Yes, they are. Everything in one place, and I now have one more French cleat holder on the walls of my shop. Like and subscribe to see more French cleat projects like this, plus other projects. See you next time.